name. The Florence is going to be counting the attendance. Please, one by one.
Good evening. I'll do the
Oh.
roll call for you, Amin. Corrine Wood Hayes is at work. She's running late. Dino, are you present? Dino Panagoulias?
I can see he's here.
Sorry, I am here.
I know it takes time to unmute. It's quite all right.
Yep.
Maricela Santos, attendance. Quinella Williams.
Here.
Thank you. Stella
Welcome. How you
Nicolaus
doing?
running late from work. Stella's will be here later. Tyrone Gardner.
Here.
Thank you. Of course, Amin Mahedi.
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you, sir. Attendance is completed.
All right. We have another member here, the public member, Kevin. Thank you for joining. We can start our agenda one by one. As you know that, I sent a draft, and the second draft also was sending to you by Florence, I believe so. I think everyone got a chance to have a look, and we can one by one, so we can just go and put our input there. Anything that we needed to talk about it. The first, we wanted to talk about the first agenda about that the letter that we wanted to send to the DOE regarding the awareness of the drug and to the and training to our parents and the students. So I would like to have first, if you could just say your experience and idea and what you wanted to do. Dino is the one who's working in the Board of Ed. So I'd love to hear from Dino first, please.
Sure. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Not bad. Just literally got home from work. So,
Oh, I know
uh,
that. Sorry to disturb you at that
no,
time,
no,
but
no. Don't even worry about it, man. This is my passion. So, hi everyone. For those that don't know me, Dino Panagoulias. I've been working with the New York City public school system now for 26 years, and I work in the field of early childhood. So I manage a lot of the data operations and everything of that sort there. So anything pre-K, 3K related is kind of within the field of or scope of work that I currently work on. And so I think one of the things that I wanted to kind of talk to you, Amin, is like what was the original intent of this letter? Like what were the thoughts that came back behind kind of drafting something like that? And then I think I can give you kind of my thoughts if you don't mind.
of course, I need that. And, that's the thing that, I need the first person. I thought maybe, I'll ask Dina to come join. And then she told me that the Florence, that he is coming. So
Yep.
you are the perfect one. And you've been working there 22 years. So I need an experienced person like you. So we can just, go through the right way. The thing is like, that, that this is a severe problem in our society. You know that. And, I noticed something, and I was talking with the parents and the students, and I noticed that you said that you are involved with the PK and 3K. There is no such program. Then that we are educating our parents or children about those harmful things. So it need to start from the very beginning. So little by little, I saw that there you are teaching the that rainbow color and teaching, saying something, and you have the know you right. You are teaching them all those things, but we are not teaching them that the about the danger of this type of habit, the what is the result is coming, and what is going to be happening in the future. And the slowly the parents even doesn't know that their kids is in getting involved this type of things. So our the recommendation to the board DOE is should be that you should start a comprehensive program to educate the children and the parents about this matter.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, so I think the biggest thing is kind of like in the early childhood stage, I hope that we don't have any children that are getting involved in vaping or anything like that. What I have seen though is And there have been reported increases of that sort of stuff, even substance abuse at a middle school level and a high school,
Exactly. Hmm.
right? And so I do think that our previous chancellor and this new chancellor, Melissa, has put forth kind of a plan. I can take a look and see what the execution of that plan is, but I totally agree, right? If you are at the middle school level and above, there is kind of that um, aspect where parents are not any longer really walking their children to school. It's more so on the bus. They're taking the train. They're being influenced more so than kind of the younger ages. So I think that it is a pretty good idea to kind of send this and kind of ask and see what the DOE actually or New York City Public Schools has in place. I would assume that it would be part of the health curriculum. Um, that is probably where that sort of lesson planning probably comes, but 100%, I can probably end up also liaising with our intergovernmental folks, and I can give Florence their information and kind of provide that letter if you want, Florence, or something of that sort. I don't know how you would kind of do that because it's kind of weird, right? This would be the first instance where I know exactly the people that I would talk to. The only thing is I don't know like what that conflict of interest would actually be. So I don't know where that communication kind of starts or ends or whatever. So I would kind of
We're 100%
defer to
right,
Florence.
Dana.
Yeah, yeah.
To go through the office, everything would
Yep.
have to go through the office. And I did send Amin today a whole bunch of links, including the health aspect from DOE, because a dear friend of mine was a principal in public schools. So I got, a slew of research material for him to look at regarding this
Got it.
topic.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
I,
I.
I'm on the same page with you, brother. Like that is one of the biggest things that has been on the rise. It's been documented in news reporting, and so we're
Yeah.
definitely focused on it again because it's not my area, my particular area of expertise within New York City public schools. I'm not really able to kind of provide with the be all end all kind of answer to that, but I do think that there are plans. So a letter from our committee and the board would definitely go much further too.
Yes, thank you. I we want your assistant. Of course, you need to save yourself from the conflict of interest. I think we are not going that something like it is going to be harm for your job or your the place you are working, that the field is just a idea from the community to the DOE. So I think it will be fine. But you are the one who's going to be able to assist us properly, that how should we proceed ourselves. So I'm
Yeah,
not
absolutely. I'm
yeah.
happy to help in that
Thank you.
regard.
And
Yep.
you are right. You are right. It is starting from the middle school. But if you can just, aware them from the childhood, they knows about it. They knows about it. But, slowly when they get involved, I did little more research in the field. They started, even though in a fifth grade, fourth grade children, they are in there too. You'll be scared to hear that, but it's happening there, and parents doesn't know at all, because they don't know, they don't see anything. Their kids is coming and going home and these things. And I was talking with the principal, and they said, what, we know that they are going to the bathroom and doing that, and we cannot even check that, because in the last time Mayor Blasio stopped the make a rule that you cannot check the student for any reason, because there's a rule on that. So they were sharing us, because we know that they're going to the bathroom and they're doing these things and coming out, and we cannot even ask them. So that's why you saw that I include that screening system. Like it's not only for this, it is for that the harmful thing they're bringing knife, they're being you see, they found that a lot of stuff in the bathroom of the middle school and high school. So which is very scary, and for that reason there is some kind of screening system. We need to have that, I believe so. But I will take everybody's idea, and and then we're gonna go and make a decision and send it. So that would be another thing, like, we need to talk about it. So both things. So thank you, Dino. And you saw my letter. You saw the second one. If you need to add something, just send me or send Florence. Florence is going to be sending me. Okay, brother.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. Let's go second person. Okay, Christina, you raise your hand. Let's go with you.
Hi. Good evening. Hi.
Good evening.
It's so nice to be in company with you. I'm I was just I hear your concern completely. I'm a parent. That's my son right now, just bugging out. Sorry
Wow.
about that.
Wish him good
But
luck.
thank you. But
Mm.
I just want to say I think there's an understanding that us needing to scan for like weapons, but at the same time, I think we have to be wary of policing and surveillance. And so if we're gonna do that, we need to balance that out with us in that letter, perhaps including the need for restorative justice programs,
Hmm.
and other kind of socio-emotional learning programs that can start from early childhood education that can really do the work that we need, the emotional support that students really need, so that they don't bring a weapon in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
So I'd love to, I actually, I'm a graduate of Teachers College at Columbia. I studied education. It's my thing. And so I would love to add any language if you need any assistance with that.
Wow. Did you get my the draft? Did you have
Madam,
get that?
No, I'm
Oh
brand
no.
spanking new. I'm a brand spanking new.
Thank
And
you for
so,
joining with us. There you go. You see,
I
we have
mean,
another.
through
Yes.
the chair, Mr. Chair, she's a parent, she's not a board member, so contributions are only verbal in the meeting. Actually, we normally don't have the public participating. This is a working committee meeting. It's at your leisure, but when you're developing the letter, it would go through the board and the committee. That's the normal processes.
I understand that, but she could improve anything. Can you just email her that our draft? So if anything, she can
That's not,
recommend.
I would have to check with the chair of the board in the president's office. That's not normally how it works. I mean,
No, but
as the new chair of the committee, normally this is a working meeting for the community board and the public and the parents and anybody from the public are here to watch the committee meeting and the processes done by the community board. The work is done by the board and the board committee, and the public watches. That's what the committee meetings are for. Like when you
okay.
go to the land use committee, you cannot speak because you're not on the land use committee.
Okay, but let me go from there. She is in our community. She's our community member. She's not in the board,
But
but
she's not a board member, sir.
I get you. I get you, Florence. Please let me handle it. But not only her. I'm gonna put this in the Facebook also that anybody wants to give any opinion, they're gonna put that
Sir, I
thing
would
and
let
that.
you let me check to the lawyers first before you do that. I would not recommend doing that. Let me check with
Okay. All
lawyers.
right. So talk to
Very
the because
unorthodox.
this is a severe issue, and community must need to involve with it. And thank you, Christina, that you joined. And I'm so happy to have you. Please follow up us with us. Anything like you need to share with us, you can just do it because I believe that as many as people we are including with it, we can just go in the right direction, and it's going to be going. We're going to achieve the right goal that we wanted to do it. Thank you anyway. And Florence, of course, we're gonna check with the our board chair, community board chair, and you said the lawyer, whoever. But we need to have the right direction. We're gonna go to our destination. That's our goal. Thank you. Okay, let's go. The next person. Anyone wants to raise the hand? Who wants to be the next? Or you want me to go by name? Hello. Okay. Can I go to the Tyron? Tyron, can you start yourself, please? Tyron, are you
Can I
there?
do what? Yeah, I'm here. What's going on? How you doing?
Doing good, and I'm so happy to have you here.
Okay, me as well. So I'm saying you want me to do what? Make an opinion about what was just said?
Yeah, the one we are on the fast the agenda about that letter that I drafted. Have you got a copy of that?
Yes, I did, and I read
Okay.
it as well. So I definitely know what the information is based on. And my as I'm a board member, in my opinion is that, like it was said that it's not just about the drugs, right? The
Yes.
drugs is a situation, right? But there's more to it than that, right? And that
Yep.
has to get addressed first and foremost, especially with the parenting at home, right? So even with you writing a letter to the Department of Education to try to get this type of program and put into place, it's still a whole lot more that has to be done other than just writing this letter and getting that implemented. And like you just said, it started at the homes, and then also as far as with the type of security and situations that's happening in the schools. Even though the young lady is not a, board member, she made an important comment about implementing certain programming and organizations involved in schools that could prevent those situations from occurring, especially with the weapons in the schools.
Exactly.
So with the letter, as far as with the speaking about the cannabis and the drugs, right? Like I was speaking to you before at the board meeting, right?
Yeah.
In today's time, right? In the community that I live in, right, and what I see, because what I do for my profession, as with my organization, is that these kids, right? It's not about you telling them not to do something, right? Because a lot, 9 times out of 10, that's going to make them want to do it now, right? If these
Yes.
kids are doing certain things, our duty and responsibility is to educate them about the things that they're doing and the cause and effect of the form of them abusing it. That's where a lot of these problems are coming at. Where these kids are just abusing these drugs, they're using them and really don't understand why they're using them. But there's also a reason why that I've learned, because a lot of these kids in these age group of teenagers, they they were brought up on a medication system at one time, right?
Yeah.
Where they was put on these medications to fulfill certain, requirements because they felt that they needed it as they go on to see psychiatric evaluations and doctors of this nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when these kids, see these same kids get old enough, right, to make a decision on their own, and they stop taking these substances that they were being forced to take as kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they try to find a substitute to make them have that same type of feeling that they was experiencing when they was under those meds. And a lot of times that's why they search into cannabis and vaping, because it makes them have a similar effect to release those dopamine chemicals as the same as it did when they was on those medications that were prescribed to them. So like the biggest part about all of this is the educational part of it. We're not going to be, it's not about going into the Department of Education telling we don't want you, we want you to make programs to tell kids stop doing drugs. You see all throughout years, they've had all kind of missions to say stop using drugs, and it hasn't stopped the problem with drugs. The problem is better educating our kids so they can make better choices on what they should be doing. And that's how it should be, and that's my opinion about that.
All right, thank you. And we are just asked him the board of ed to educate the child and the parents. That's our goal. Like if we could educate them properly, like the new a lot of times the new parents, they don't know about these types of things. They are happy with the baby and they are proceeding. Oh, we are sending them to school, so they are taking care of the thing. But the school does a lot of things, but they need to include something like that. So and. Weapon
Right,
things, I agree. We need to try something that we don't want to hear another Sandy Hook
right. No,
elementary school tragedy that which is hurt us so much. Our not only that, so many other school is happening that needs to happen. If we could just start something from the early age, we can have much better result. So
right. Like I said,
thank
we
you.
said we
And
educating
any
them.
from your part, if you wanted to add something or do any edit, you can send it to Florence or to me, and we'll compile that together, and then we'll go from there. Thank you anyway. Okay, next person is I think that Andrew wanted to say something, right? Andrew, are you there still? Andrew, can unmute yourself? Okay, let's go for our public member, the Kevin. Kevin, can you unmute yourself and speak, please, about this matter?
Yes, hi. Yeah, I think I certainly share the sentiment that it's important for um for our youth to kind of be aware more so on the socio-emotional level and kind of like have an understanding of where the need, of addiction comes from. And a lot of that comes from um having programs, right, that speak to socio-emotional development, right? And that speak to um trying to find out like what the root cause of that particular addiction is, right? Um I think in general, like I'm against and against anything that could cause more of an environment where students kind of feel surveilled. I don't necessarily think that, having more searches or more checkpoints or anything like that will really address the root cause of this. And especially, I mean, if we're trying to kind of like not just tackle it in middle school and high school, but like in elementary, right? That's gonna inquire, um, that's gonna cause us to kind of look at different types of programs for that specific age group, right? Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, I think it's an important it's important to kind of investigate and to kind of keep also and just wondering about like how because I think someone mentioned that schools kind of do this sort of like programs that try to like get them aware of like like of drug addiction, and there's all types of programs that the schools organically do already, like in their communities. So
Hmm.
um yeah, I wonder like how much more information we would need to get. We might want like to look at a specific school that has had success, and kind of figure out like what they're doing, try to like look at examples of communities that have looked at this problem and maybe have tried to implement something like as a model. I don't know if we have that, so um yeah, I think at this point it might be helpful to kind of get like some um more specific data about like what the DOE has done already, if anything, and then try to like build from there.
All right, thank you. We need to, DOE will decide that how they're gonna set up the program, what's going to be good, and we are just asking them to do something starting. Like there's need to start something. So we are gonna put our idea. We're gonna send them the letter, and then I was talking with the board chair, and I was talking with the Florence that we need to have the whole board will be involved, and we're gonna do that from our community board one that we are the other day I was talking with in a program I was talking about this idea, and two councilmen they were coming and shaking hands. Yes, we need to work on that. They started. So that's how it's going to be word out to the people and the community, and the little by little everybody will involve, and then it's going to be we're going to get our destination, I believe. So thank you for your opinion, and if you wanted to add or have you received that Florence, can he have that letter that drafted we drafted?
I
He had
believe
it.
Kevin is a part of the committee and he's on the email list. Kevin, you're getting emails, is that correct?
Yes,
Yes, yeah,
you
I
got
did
that right.
He
uh,
received it.
If you have anything that we need to include, just you can just hand that to Florence. Florence will send that to me. All right. Thank
okay, I
you.
will. Thank
All
you.
right. I can see the Stella. She was the community the education chair before. Stella, please put your opinion about our first agenda, please. We cannot hear you. You need to unmute yourself and then talk.
No, I apologize. I came in the last 10 minutes because I was at work actually working with students, so I caught the end tail of it. So if you refresh my memory, I'll certainly join you.
All
Can
right.
you what I missed prior to that. I'm sorry.
No,
It's a
but everybody was just, we are talking about that letter that we wanted to send. So if you have, I don't want to push you. Thank you that you just came from work and joining with us. And we are on the same page that we wanted to send a letter. And you saw the draft was sending to you. You wanted to do add anything or just give us any idea, just, include that and send that to the Florence. That's all. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Let's go for our another the committee member, the Karin. Karin, are you there still? Karin, can you unmute and talk?
Sorry, are you talking to me?
Yes.
Okay, hi. So I may be completely off. I moved into this neighborhood not long ago, and I'm interested in the work of the community board. And I was under the impression that this is a public meeting, so I was just curious and wanted to listen in on it, but I certainly didn't mean to join a conversation that is not open to the public. I'm not a member. I'm just
Oh, I'm sorry. We have the Karin member. I thought you were the same person. You
no.
now you open your camera so I can see you now. Because I
Okay.
didn't know that. All right. Thank you for
So,
joining with us. All right. Thank
so
you.
can I stay or should
Mm,
I? Is this
Yeah, we
not?
can stay. You can stay. That's fine. Okay.
Okay.
The
Thank you
Christina,
very much.
you're welcome. Christina, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay. You wanted to say something?
Oh, is my hand still up? My apologies. I'm okay. I'll
All
take my
right.
hand down. Thank.
Kunila.
Hey, everyone. And I
Good
am a
evening.
board member.
Yes. She is a good
So,
woman.
yeah, so I agree, the thing with when what Florence was saying, I'm sorry, I mean, I really agree with Florence with just waiting and see what the proper channels are to get this letter out to someone that's not on a board meeting or the board. And I do like the second draft way better than the first. The second
Mhm.
draft is a lot clearer and it just makes more sense.
Yeah.
But and I think some of the things that some of the board members were saying is excellent things and suggestions, even the thing that Christina mentioned about, the counseling and things like that, because we
Mhm.
all know that vaping is not you know it's one of the issues, but it's just one of many because you
Mhm.
have bullying and you have
Yeah. A lot of them.
dropouts, kids pregnancy. You have so many issues with
Mhm.
schools and things like that. So I think this is a great start to start with this issue, and then we could probably move on to others. But at the same time, we all know that um this thing with the vaping and drugs and stuff like that, it starts from home. We have to get the parents, make the parents
Yes.
aware of it. Hopefully the parents are not doing the same things and teaching their kids these things. And the kids are going out and say, hey, my parents are doing it, I'm going to do it too. Because someone that raised three daughters, and I have two grown daughters, and now I have the little one that's 18, and she's not into that. She's not, she's about to graduate high school, and she's not into any of that stuff, and I thank God for that. But it starts from home. It really does. And I think parenting, if we can get parents more aware of these things, especially with the bullying too, because my daughter did experience that at one time. Um, I just think it's just one of many things. Okay, let me just stop. Okay, thank you guys. Go ahead, Stella.
Yeah, you articulate everything very well. What I was going to say, I work with the kids also. I'm in higher ed, but I work in lower ed. And what I have found, whenever I called a parent to get them involved in something, their response, and I had to say that was a majority. I'm a single parent. I've tried everything. I take away a lot. A lot of their benefits or whatever, but they're not listening. You do the best you can. And again, it fell back into me, which was of course very, very difficult. So it's not like the parents don't want to help, but they're also challenged. The only thing I'm thinking, I don't know if the schools would be interested in that. If there was more, like say, social interaction in the school within the parents, so there could be groups of parents and then the
Yeah.
groups of kids, so then maybe there could be some sort of bonding and some sort of influence. But again, we don't have a right to intrude there. But like I said, from my experience, it was always the same story almost, and I felt sorry for the parents, for the mother, and it was usually the single parent. so it was very challenging. So I think we can try to get them involved, but I don't know if it's going to be one-to-one, but I think if there was more parents meetings at the school, like I said, so they could bond with each other. I think that maybe there's power in strength in numbers, and maybe involved, the children can be present, or they or whatever. Maybe that can also help if they know each other's parents, etc. Maybe that would help. Like it's a more of a personal approach. In order to command them, or for them to tell the students you can't do this and can't not do that, they're gonna find a way to do it. I'm sorry. They're very creative.
Yeah, no, that's fine that you are saying that that's your real experience. Thank you for sharing that, and I
Well,
know
there may
that
be
all.
others. There may be
Yeah,
others.
yeah, yeah. The parents are having a lot of challenges. So this is one of them. But way you are saying that when it's going to be a group of people, like group of parents, it's gonna make a difference. And they can make a movie. They can with the playing with the kids, and they can show that what's the good effect and bad effect on those type of things. So they will learn from the early age by playing them, by showing them the movie, doing any activities, doing any group work. So those are the things, like the DOE can arrange it. We don't know which one is going to be affecting more or less, so they can go in several way. So just do it, but they need to notify this, and they need to just start something with that. That is our recommendation would be. And we want to have that them to do start something. So thank you for sharing. And yeah, go ahead.
If I may share something else too, one of the things I noticed in the school, they have favorite teachers. And
Yes.
when that teacher was monitoring them and maybe talking to them the way their parents would, maybe they would also listen to that particular
Exactly.
teacher.
Exactly.
A favorite
Mhm.
subject of some sort. If
Yes,
it could be
exactly.
the gym's
The,
teacher,
yeah,
it could
there's a
be
there are
the
many different way you can teach the kids. So with a favorite teacher, with some program, with some grouping, with playing when they are playing, let's make a game that who is doing this. A lot of things we could just they could just implement in that in their program, that how they can. And from the early age, when you are little by little you are educating them, that's going to be a good result when they are coming to the middle school. So they already know about it. But when they are coming to the middle school, but maybe the sixth grader, they are affecting by the seventh grader or eighth grader. They are already involved. So, and another dangerous thing is the parents doesn't know. It doesn't have any smell. He doesn't see it. They don't say, "Oh, my kids says I was talking with somebody. I saw that his son. He couldn't even believe that, and he was saying, "Oh, thank you that I saw him." And he is a very good kid. He's a very good result. But they have very good social reaction with the other people. But when the gentleman was hearing from me, he was surprised. He asked me some question. I didn't answer any of the questions. I said that this is the thing that if you want, I know that their parents. He's a very good person, and they don't even think about it. And he doesn't even know that. And they couldn't even think that his son can be involved this type of things without knowing him, because they don't know him. Okay, so,
the middle school is when they test, because they're establishing the identity. So they're going to challenge everything and everyone.
yeah.
And I've been there. So it's a tough group. But I know when they have somebody they respect, that they earn their respect and they be monitored by that person. It could be the professor, or they're making the instructor, the teacher, making a connection with their parent, etc. They start paying more attention. They want to please. Everybody wants to please.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Even though with all the student in the studio, like they have theater, so they can show a movie, like that way, that how's these things is happening. Maybe you are once or twice a year, or every month they're showing something like that. So that's also gonna be the effective. Okay, thank you for your. Let's make it easier, because we have to see about the timing. Okay, the next person, you can just raise your hand, and that's gonna be easy for me. Or you want me to call the name? Who's left our committee member? Florence, can you help me out that? Who didn't talk yet?
Yes, I just had to unmute, please. The mouse was a little slow. So Dino made a comment. Marcella's not here. Quinella made a comment. Stella made a comment, and Tyrone made a comment. Patricia is a board member, and she's here to
Yeah.
watch the meeting. She can make a comment because
Yeah.
she is a board member should she wish to, but she is
Yeah.
not a committee member. And
Let's,
Kevin
yeah,
is
we
a
are welcoming her. Patricia, please start yourself. If you want to say something, please join with us.
Yes,
Can I see you? Turn on your
let me.
so I can see which person you are.
Okay, I'm here. I'm listening to what everybody says. I'm agree with our what they said, Quintela. I agree with her. And if I was for me, I think it will be excellent for it to create a program of community service for the kids, so they will know how it is to have to do drugs or to do this, because then they can see the mirror. But I'm agree with you on the letter, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Patricia. Anything, if you wanted to have any advice or anything, just you can just send that to Florence. So she's gonna send that to me. So and we'll compile the letter, and we'll go from there. And anyway, we're gonna have another meeting and finalize that letter. And Dino is gonna help us on that too. So who's left now? Who didn't talk?
through the chair. I can display a link that Dino put into the chat. I can display it on the screen if you wish for me to do so, and you can talk about this article with vaping if you would like to do that.
No, not because we have to we don't want to do more longer on that. We don't want to because
Okay.
we have to have some other agenda too, and we don't want to keep the people for a long time. So we'll do that. That's let them send that to you. Okay, so and who else is rep? I can see the Dino did that. Quinella did. Ed Tomo. You wanna share something with us?
Public, that's somebody from the public. That's not
Okay,
a
but
board.
okay, but can they share something if they have any idea, anything?
Normally, it's a working meeting for committee members, so usually the public is here to view and watch the meeting, and then the public would email the office any comments. That's the normal way it works. So there are 50 board members, 13 committees. So what happens is the board members converse during the committee meetings, the public watches the meeting, then they email the office any comments they have. That's why we write in the chat what we put.
All right, then that's fine. Okay, so we are going to our next agenda is the new school coming to the neighborhood. It's on the down the what do you call what is the address? The Florence, help me on that. The
I did
location.
not bring the address. I did not know you were going to call me for that, but it is
All
in
right,
the,
that's fine. But you know what?
it's
That
in,
second agenda that you sent that to that around about the school location. That's not our business. That's the land use committee will handle that. That I believe, right? That's not
yes,
that's so we're gonna be sending that to the what do you call her name? I forget.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, yeah?
Land
Elizabeth, yeah.
use. It's
Elizabeth.
a,
So we'll talk about, we'll share the information with her, anything that we have. Let's go for the third agenda. Who wants to share the information on that? That what kind of school that we are expecting there? Because that community, they need the school there. I was talking with the community people, and they want that school, and it has to be of course that we want that that local kids, that the area kids is of course need to be participate there. And those are the things like we wanted to make sure. And if it's a bigger school, a smaller school, that's not a bad well, but we want to have that the child of that neighborhood need to be taken care of by the school. So, and what kind of program we are, if you have any suggestion that the what kind of program that I believe that when they're making a school, it has to be a standard school with all the program. With they have to have that the normal kids education and the autistic one too. So Dino, do you wanna make any comment or anything that you want to talk about it?
Sure. Yeah, there's difficult depending on the type of school need or neighborhood needs assessment that was done. There is a particular office. There's two offices that work with the school construction authority. The two offices are the Office of District Planning and also the Office of Space Management. I happen to work in the past with them, so I'm very familiar to with how the schools kind of get assessed and addressed within the neighborhood. Interestingly enough, when there is this kind of neighborhood assessment, they will do a couple of things. Recently, and as of late, there has been an increase in needing to also create space for District 75 students. Those are students with special needs that are typically not inside a general education classroom. They may have severe learning disabilities or severe mobility issues. It all depends on the specifics of the individualized IEP, the educational plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when they are doing that, they will typically open up either an elementary school or a middle school. I do know that in this particular area, we did last year, with the help of the mayor and the city council, we opened up a number of 3K seats in order to facilitate a lot of the parents that did not
Mm-hmm.
get any offers specific to 3K. This year and today, I think it was either today or yesterday, the 3K and pre-K application opened up. So parents are welcome to apply for that sort of stuff. But usually the school construction authority is kind of the governing agency that will build these particular schools. And there is a thing called the capital plan that will tell you or residents and folks that live in the neighborhood or across the city what type of school they are actually planning on building, how large that school is going to be once those plans are moved forward. Because then it's in the capital plan. It's basically cemented that this school will be either middle school or whatever. In cases where the school is kind of being proposed, what will end up happening, they will try to meet with the neighborhood. They will have representatives from the Office of District Planning just to get and provide feedback, and then be able to go back and ultimately make a decision, provided that the SCA has that funding to actually build that particular school. And usually it takes about 3 to 5 years to build that school once they say that, hey, we're going to build that.
But I heard that they started that in 2012. It has been almost like 8-10 years. Like it's more than 10 years that
I
is
mean,
yeah.
it was only the proposal when the developer was coming into the community. The area where the school is going is being highly utilized and being developed. And that area was part of a study that was done with the development. But this now, the recent presentation that you, the board members, had is a mandatory presentation by School Construction Authority. And they have come to the conclusion that what they are going to build is what they propose because they see a necessity from the DOE aspect. And it was a formality for them to come and give the presentation. We, as a board, did give a comment letter, but they did not require any comment letter. It was informational purposes. So for anybody who's here from the public, they can come in and the public can see the videotape from the YouTube meeting of the full board meeting last month regarding this school.
Okay, but another thing that let me ask. Okay, Florence, if you could just send that information that on that area, the 3K student they can apply. The application is open, so Tyron can help us. You are living there, Cunella. I don't know you're there or not. So, but you guys can just tell them that if they want to have that, and it is very important if you are when you are giving that the child to the 3K program that helps a lot. I have my personal experience from there. So it is very good. And based on the Dino's conversation, so it is not like that we are something that putting our committee need to do anything at this moment. What do you think, Dino? Is it correct, Dino?
Yeah, I don't think that there is anything that we would be doing currently at the moment. We would probably be providing some sort of secondary feedback once a final determination is made. Again, this is a lot of work that goes into it with the Office of District Planning, the Department of City Planning, to actually kind of assess what enrollment trends. They also look at what buildings are being built through Department of Buildings permits, right? And then they're
Mhm.
able to kind of, you know, kind of project out how many families that will bring, how many individuals it will bring, will those individuals have children, and so on and so forth. And so there's a lot of analysis that goes there. And so the other thing that you were talking about specifically with the 3K and pre-K application, so
Mhm.
I'll put a link to My Schools. My Schools is the application that you go online, have to create a particular account and be able to then fill out your information, the information of your child that is ready for 3K. And then you would submit your application and then be able to, you would have to wait until the application closes, and then the Office of Student Enrollment would then facilitate kind of the matching process, as it's called, with a particular program that you apply to.
Oh, wow, thank you.
Yep.
Do they have any arrangement on that location, like on that area, for the 3K program? Do
Yeah,
you
so
know anything
there's
about?
there's there's 3K and pre-K in almost every single neighborhood. I know that there is an abundance of pre-K seats. What our area in Queens kind of had a larger issue with, and specifically my office worked with Councilmember Juan to actually increase the number of 3K seats in the area. And so I think, if, and don't hold me to this because I don't have a stellar memory, but I think we increased 300 or so 3K seats in our community board alone, to kind of facilitate the placement of children that did not get an offer through the offer process. And then most recently, when that process was closed over the summer, the mayor did announce that 100% of parents that applied to 3K all got a seat.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
So, the Florence, if he is sharing you the link, just send that to all the agencies and the community service people, so they would be able to provide that information to the parents. That's going to be good. So, I think that for the anybody wants to share any information about it, you can raise your hand about the new school thing. Tyron, Tyron, are you there? Or I think Tyron left, right? Kunela.
No, I think it's a great idea if because Astoria is becoming a lot more dense with people.
Mhm.
We're getting people from all over the place and
Yeah.
buildings all over the place. So I think it's a great thing that they have new schools. Um, when I was driving up Northern Boulevard, I saw that big, huge school over there, and it just looks great. But just hopefully in these new schools they have like great programs for kids. Even in high school, junior high, if they have programs to you know prepare kids for the real life, like
Mhm.
carpentry programs or teaching kids those type of things. Like my daughter was excited about a cooking class, and just giving her basic cooking. When I was in high school in the 80s, having an electric typewriter was a big thing. So so I
Yeah,
think
that's
it's good to have these programs, and just to keep the kids interested, and keep them from doing stuff they shouldn't do. You know, that's my opinion.
Well,
Thank you.
that's well verbalized, Camilla. I have to agree with you. I had cooking in junior high school, and
Oh,
actually I enjoyed it. And I still remember a lot of the things they taught me from
You
junior high.
see? You see that?
Yeah, as opposed to eating candy, have a fruit salad and prepare in such a way. And fruits are not as much better in terms of sugar as opposed to regular, candy. But
Yes,
they teach you how to boil an egg by throwing salt so it doesn't break around it. So those are very valuable skills if they can
that's
do it.
right.
And the
yeah.
other thing you said, Canela, we are expanding as a community, and I really don't think we have enough schools, period, on any
Yes,
level.
yes.
So
That's
any
what, this year that when the budget committee meeting was there, we put that in, we needed a new school there. And then I come to know there is a school already approved on that area. So it was, and I was so happy to hear that, but, it has been like 10 years that, it didn't, 12 years, it didn't happen anything. So we hope that, it's going to be, they're going to start something new. And Florence was telling me it takes another 4 years to start a school. They are just looking for the area, and then a lot of thing has to be done. Like Dino said. Dino want to say something. Dino, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just want to, like, one of the biggest things that our chancellor, before he left last year, he actually implemented and talked about a lot of the things that the state of the schools kind of address. One of which was exactly what you all are talking about, right? Going back to kind of the trades, or what we call CTE, career and technical education. So
Mhm.
there is an increase in those particular fields and specific kind of curriculums that schools are undertaking. More importantly, in the computer sciences. So there is a new artificial intelligence program that is going to be
Exactly.
started. And
Hmm.
so I have seen that kind of taking the world by storm. And so I do think that our future generations need to be equipped with those types of skill sets, right? Because they will
Yeah.
quickly be replaced by computers
Yeah.
if they do not have the skill set to actually program them. So that's the one thing. And then most importantly, which I have been seeing, and it goes back to, what kind of Tyrone was talking about, and kind of making sure that there is a great foundational element, not only at home, but also at the school level. And so, what the chancellor announced was the start of financial literacy, and it will be a mandated curriculum. There are schools that have done this in the past, but this has been something that I've been kind of striving for the last 5 or 6 years, maybe even I want to say 10, at New York City Public Schools, to make that sort of thing happen by talking to folks, because financial literacy is going to give you that kind of step up in order for you to know how to manage your money. If you don't know how to manage your money, all bets are off, right? It doesn't matter how much money you end up making,
Hmm.
you won't know how to spend it properly and correctly.
Yeah.
So, all of those things, putting them all together, and then the new high school that's being opened up where the Sports Authority used to be. That is a beautiful, beautiful building, and they will have an amazing school and curriculum there. So, I do wish that I was able to go to high school when I had these brand new buildings, because there are definitely amenities that we had never had as students, and that
Exactly.
these students will be
No air
enjoying. So,
conditioning. Can you imagine?
listen,
It's a
the
luxury
AC,
now, okay?
the biggest thing was the AC for All initiative about
Right?
5 or 6 years ago, where now every single
Right.
classroom is air conditioned. I can imagine a lot of us when we were in school, we were sweating,
Suffered.
just suffering, suffering, suffering. And it was like, we just got to get through it. And that's why you didn't want to go to summer school then, right?
Right.
That was the one singular
Oh,
reason why I didn't want to go to summer school, because I was gonna sweat.
yes.
But
Yes.
yeah,
I taught in
Uh,
a non-conditioned room. It was horrible with a bunch of students, they at least you were only a student. Like, even I, as the instructor, when I taught, it was a while back, there was no air condition in the classroom teaching. It was horrible.
Let me share my experience. My daughter, she goes to the Harvard, and she has a semester on the summer, and I saw how the students are suffering. They don't have any AC. They just gave a fan, and it was I don't know, that's 300 years old building. And you have that. Luckily, my daughter, she went to her one was renovated recently. She went to the Winthrop, but I saw that how the kids are suffering, and when it was so horrible, like that's too hot that but still they are living there and doing things like that. Well, anyone wants to share about that school? Kevin, you want to say something? Kevin?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, I think just hearing the conversation about the typewriters, I had a typewriting class back in like fourth grade, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, me as an educator, AI is an important new literacy that I think is going to be really helpful for
Mm-hmm.
educational programs, especially since we're going to be seeing more and more of it. And
Mm-hmm.
to be able to have students use, you know, because it's inevitable that they will use it. It's out there, right? It's just become so ubiquitous in everything, in advertising and social media. So developing that literacy, right? And kind of finding ways for students to leverage AI in a way that doesn't compromise, you know, their the integrity of their writing and their creative output, I think is going to be really important. So yeah, targeting that, I think, can make a big difference in students' writing and their creativity and so forth.
Yeah, I believe so that, when the new school is coming there, of course, they're going to have the AI program there. There's no doubt about that, because, nowadays we need that very essential. So, anybody else wants to share anything? So, any board member, the committee member, want to say something? That
I
was
can
our.
say I love the idea of the financial literacy for kids. I mean, I told, my own daughters, you can put as little as like $50 a week. You know what I'm saying? In an account and let it grow, like open up something like one of those like acorns or something like that and watch it grow. That's something that you just don't think of that would be it would just build up. Just something so simple as a $50. Just put that away and see how it builds after a few years. That helps. And then next thing you know, you want to put more and more in there. So I
Mhm.
think if parents know about that and that kind of information could be shared with parents, that I think is wonderful.
Yeah. So we all can put our thought together and, start working on it little by little. Anyone wants to share anything? So, can you conclude our meeting? And we're gonna be compiling this letter, and we're gonna prepare it. The final. I'm gonna send that to Florence by with all of yours idea. Anyone wants to put anything new on that? So, but we'll make that. It was just I told that it was a draft, so it's just a draft still. So we can still add the things you want. Kevin, Cornelia, and Stella, whoever wants to add anything, you could do it. And for the school things, it's too early to talk about it because we don't know anything, and it's going to be starting in 4 years. So i I don't think it's going to make any sense to talk about that now. So but still that that last meeting, last our community board meeting, the school things came here. I wanted to just share with you guys that there's in school coming, and the program and everything that you can talk. And mostly nowadays it's that school thing is need to be talk at the land use committee, because it has to build, because they are saying that that space is open now for the kids and they're playing there, and the big school is coming there, so it's going to be harmful for that community. So they are the one who's need to focus on that and talk about it, because there's the land use problem, that which land they're supposed to. But the community need that school, that I come to know. Definitely they need it, and they are welcoming them, but they have to just set the school that where it's supposed to go. So thank you everyone for joining. And anybody, do you need a motion to close the meeting, adjournment, Florence, or no? I
No,
can just.
no, there's no requirement. You can just say good evening if you like, sir.
Yeah. No, thank you very much, everyone. I'm so happy that you participate, and I appreciate your input. So we'd like to please join us and follow us our next meeting. Thank you very much. Good night,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank
Have
you.
a good
Have a
night,
good night.
everyone.
Thank you.
Take
Good
care.
night. Good
Night,
night.
everyone.
Good night.
Thank you, Harry Studios, for a wonderful meeting. We can close now.